So Man United feel they have a match point in the Hoyland story.
Wait for it. Game 7 match. Alcaraz 2-0.
Welcome back to Mufc Realist TV. Mick again. It's Sunday, this beautiful morning transfer walk and talk, just as per usual. Walking a dog and being a little bit innovative and recording a message for the global Manchester United fan base. It feels good to be read today, but you know, reading socials and everything we've been reading is what most people are writing. Did we overpay in this transfer market? You know, stick around and I will tell you if we did or didn't overpay for Rasmus Hojlund.
Finally, it's done. After long negotiations, Rasmus Hojlund to Manchester United is here we go. The deal is in place. Everything has been agreed today between Atalanta and Manchester United. The fee, from what I'm told, just to clarify, I tweeted more than 70 million euros plus add-ons. From what I'm told, the structure of the deal is 70 million euros guaranteed fee, 5 million euros very easy add-ons, so 70 guaranteed, 5 very easy, so something that they expect to trigger in a very easy way, so almost 75 guaranteed, plus 10 million euros in add-ons. So the total package, in case all the add-ons will be activated, and those 10 million euros are not that easy, it depends on trophies, on how many goals Rasmus Hojlund will score, so it depends, we will see, but 70 are guaranteed, 5 are very easy, almost guaranteed, 10 are difficult. So the potential total package is 85 million euros for Rasmus Hojlund. Imagine Atalanta paid 17 million euros for Hojlund 1 year ago from Sturm Graz, and now after 10 months they sell the player for potentially 85 million euros. That's the real fee.
Well, according to my opinion, no, we didn't. And I will break it down why. Because Manchester United tactics this window is not to overpay. There is a set budget set for each individual what they are targeting, and Manchester United had a fixed budget for the striker position, especially for Rasmus Hojlund on £60 million. And that's exactly what they achieved if you calculate it. You cannot simply add on the add-ons, because the add-ons are not the ones that you're going to pay out in installments for the next 5 years, if that is what Manchester United agreed upon. The add-ons, for me, it's something that is sort of kind of variables. If it happens, there's a certain clause in the contract that obliges Manchester United to sort of pay out. So according to my opinion, it is basically what you should focus on in the, I don't call it net spend, but 60 million, it's the actual fee that you're paying for Rasmus Hojlund. Now, is that expensive? Nah, I don't think so. You got to look at one simple thing. It's called supply and demand.
Of the deal, Rasmus Hojlund agreed almost 10 days ago a contract with Manchester United. You remember, guys, it was an exclusive news. I told you, a contract for the next 5 years, June 2028, with an option until 2029, so option for a further season, exactly the same contract they did to Andre Onana. Was not an easy deal, because Atalanta are very tough negotiators, so it was not easy for Manchester United to reach an agreement with Atalanta. Imagine that Atalanta started to ask for more than 70 million euros, but when they were mentioning in these meetings more than 70 million euros, is because they wanted to arrive around 85-90 million euros guaranteed with the add-ons. So at the end, Manchester United were able to close the deal for 70 plus 5, very easy, plus 10 add-ons, in add-ons. So that's the agreement, the deal is done. I mentioned it was not easy also because PSG really tried to sign Hojlund. They had 3 meetings with the agents of the player, 3 meetings where PSG really pushed it in terms of salary and really pushed it in terms of making bids to Atalanta. They made a bid for 50 million euros, but that was obviously not enough to convince Atalanta.
Now let's break down the supply and demand. Okay, the demand currently is that everyone is looking for a striker. It is a striker drought, and that kind of increased the supply, like, you know, there's a shortage, and therefore the variable changes in the football industry, that all of a sudden you know that everyone is looking for a striker. United is looking for a striker, PSG, Bayern Munich, everyone is looking for a striker, and therefore you have the inflated price. I mean, just look at last season, how much a striker was worth, comparing to this season, what the demand is, the asking prices from the clubs. We're talking about over 100 million euros. I mean, just look at Osimhen, 150 million, Mbappe, and all that stuff, right? It's just ridiculous money. Even Kai Havertz went for almost 90 million almost euros, to be honest. So there's your fallacy to say that you cannot really look at it from that perspective, because you got to look at the supply and demand factor. So Manchester United did not overpay for Rasmus Hojlund in certain ways. Just remember that Atalanta wanted that 100 million mark euro. They wanted it to land. So it's been astute negotiations, and something that I've been always saying on this channel, providing a voice of reasoning. The Manchester United will try to grind this down in terms of long negotiations to the price what they think it's fair. Remember that Rasmus Hojlund's evaluation on Transfermarkt, just Google that site, is 45 million euros. Now, of course, this is also an Erik ten Hag pushing signing, and the fact that there's so many people were knocking on the door for Rasmus Hojlund to want his signature is another thing. The fact is there was another Premier League club trying to call to hijack this deal, also made it over the line. But there is something very, very, very important that is worth to mention, and that is the player. Now, the player, according to my understanding, speaking to SEG and that camp, is Rasmus Hojlund wanted Manchester United from the very get-go. That's the thing. He's a boyhood friend. He was obsessed. This is the truth. That's why he employed 𝒂𝒊𝒄 𝒌 as his agent and gave them a trial, the SAG camp, to say, I only appoint you if you can get me a move to Manchester United. This is a trial period. If you succeed, you will become my agent. And this is, ladies and gentlemen, exactly what went down.
But PSG wanted the player, then they left the race because they understood one thing. Rasmus Hojlund only wanted to play for Manchester United. It's the biggest dream he had since he was a kid. Man United obsession.
But we all know that Rasmus Hojlund only wants Manchester United. It is that analogy that I kept using the past 2 days. It's if you have your heart or eyes set on a certain person that you spotted for the first time. That butterfly feeling in your stomach. You fell in love with this girl or a boy or whatever, how you swing. There's no chance in a million years that somebody else can come in and persuade you. I might say that I'm happily married, man, but if Margot Robbie comes knocking on my door, I might consider it. But at the end of the day, why go out and buy sausages when I can come home and have buffet?
He was a big Man United fan as a kid, and now he will be a Manchester United player. The medical will take place in the next days. They are going to exchange documents, and then I think that it will be official next week, but everything is okay. So don't worry, it's a here we go.
Game 7 match. Alcaraz 2-0.
This tells you that you can have anyone in the world coming and bidding for you, but if your heart is set on one target, that is your dream move. So part of this push as well is Rasmus Hojlund part of the deal, and Atalanta, they already knew this. Atalanta already lined up the replacement for Hojlund. Now the rest came down to negotiating between the clubs, between Atalanta, between Manchester United, and it was kind of a war of attrition to lower down the price and meet in the middle, something that I've always been saying. Now, at the end of the day, it's got to feel good for both the buyer and the seller. And this is exactly what happened over the weekend. I was saying, that on Friday, they met and had very hardcore negotiations. There was never a first bid to put in 50 plus 10 add-ons. No, this is something that the clubs are negotiating, probing, trying until they reach to the final agreement what feels right for them to complete the deal. And this is exactly what happened for the Rasmus Hojlund deal. This is exactly how it accelerated on Saturday when it came out to say, here we run, here we go, here we sprint. Now Rasmus Hojlund is super happy, over the moon. As alluded, he only wanted to Manchester United, and This is an astute signing for Manchester United. Now there might be some worrying around the world regarding the fan base. Or isn't he too young? We should not have any expectations. I mean, just think about it. This is the way Alex Ferguson used to do. Just take Ronaldo as an example, right? We brought in a young Ronaldo with an eye for a talent, and look what happened to Ronaldo. He flourished to become one of the best strikers in the world on the left wing, to become a striker in the later stages. This is exactly what I see Rasmus Hojlund also being. Not to expect that he will come in and score like 30 goals the first season, but at least to contribute and grow under Benny McCarthy helms of trading and Erik ten Hag's guidance, right? Mentorship. So this to me will be fantastic. It's going to be something to watch, something to grow, something to nurse, and I believe that Rasmus Hojlund is the answer. Now let's talk about what media has been reporting and what is the budget and the FFP of Manchester United. Again, this is something very interesting that I like to sort of dissect a bit, because every year the journalists are kind of saying that Manchester United only have 100 million to spend or 120 million to spend, but at the end of the day they don't really know. Last year was the same. We ended up spending 250 million euros and this year we already surpassed that mark what the media was reporting. There is simple money to spend for the right targets, and Erik ten Hag has always been saying that there is money to spend for the right player. Even Richard Arnold came out in that undisclosed interview when he went to the pub and called out by some certain fans. He said it in the camera as well, but he didn't know he was recorded. There's money for the manager to spend, but only on the right player. Now in terms of FFP, I don't think it exists. I mean, FFP for me, it's fake financial prediction. So you tell me about the FFP. At the end of the day, FFP for me, it's all about fake financial predictions. What happens is that you take a deal like Rasmus Hojlund, you split it down into 5 installments, which is 60 million. And you ain't gonna get that high impact on the FFP spending. What FFP looks at is the overall balanced scorecard in terms of the overall wage structure in the squad, but also around the entire staff of Manchester United. It is designed to operate that you're spending within the means that you're generating. So if you have higher outgoing spending and lower income, that's 100% gonna FFP breach, if you understand what I mean. It's going to impact. But Manchester United this time around are kind of balancing, right? If you're offering Marcus Rashford a 300 per week wage increase, you got to decrease it somewhere else, and then you're going to look at how much you offer Onana, 100k and 200k a week. So you see how you can balance things, right? So FFP for me does not really matter. And why British press and media has been reporting for years to say that Manchester United only have 100 million to spend. Well, hang on a second. Last year we spent 250. We already spent 200, 170, and there's more to go. We're talking about AMRABAT as well. We're talking about also the outs. Now I do expect here we run for AMRABAT this coming week, now that we have completed the signing of Rasmus Hojlund, and more to come. I mean, if Harry Maguire goes out, that means that we're going to go for another centre back, and that would be a astute business window. But I'm also having a sneaky feeling that Manchester United will come back to make a cheeky bid for Harry, and if we do so, that is a 10 out of 10 window for me.
Game 7 match. 𝒖𝒄𝒌 2-0.
And for sure, a title challenging squad.
We want to attack! We want to attack!
So please don't forget this. Guys, this is Mick Ruby having my say, and hopefully I made your day more clearer to understand, did we overpay or is the FFP really existing for Manchester United this summer window alone? I hope I broke it down very easy for you to understand, but please let me know your thoughts and feelings by leaving a comment, and don't forget to like and subscribe on this Sunday. Hope you're feeling good, hope the mood is on top. Please enjoy your day, and peace, love and onana. Like and subscribe. Bye for now.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.